Barry Ferguson getting at Rangers. What have you made of the turnaround that he's managed to do?
Yes, well, I've not been surprised. He's been born and bred throughout the club since he was a kid, with his brother being there and his dad such a big influence on him. So he knows the club, he knows the standards, and I think he's shown that he's managerial material with the time he's been in, with the results that he's got and the different performances that we've had that have been very positive. So I think he's set himself up to be in pole position.
What are the qualities that he had as a player and now a manager that you've seen then that he could drive into these players now?
Standards, I think, is probably the biggest one. Leadership qualities, and being captain, he needs to get a dressing room to buy in to what he's saying, and I think he's done that. He's done it as a captain, but also he's starting to do it as a manager, and he's got there in the end. So it's been an interesting run into the season.
Last day of the Europa League, how far can Rangers go in this competition?
Next game's a difficult one, but I think being at home with the belief we've got to back ourselves. Like they've got some top players playing for them, but you've got to fancy your chances at Ibrox with full stadium. The belief's high at the moment. If we can get any sort of positive result over there, then we've always going to be in with a chance.
Do you see a different Rangers in Europe compared to domestically?
I think I did before Barry's come in, but I think he's managed to change that round. When you look at the performance at Celtic Park, off the back of such a good performance in Europe, the home game the Thursday before. So I think now's probably the time you see. I think they've probably got away from that, and domestically they've certainly picked up results and form, and they're maybe taking confidence for the European performances.
Guys like Czerny, obviously on loan at Rangers just now, he's made a difference in every game he's played. Is he the type of guys that Rangers need and try to hold on to?
Yeah, he's been brilliant this season. I think he's more a match winner. He's positive, he's direct, and he's a Rangers player, if I can put it that way. He'll take people out the game, he'll set up goals, but he's there to win games and score goals. So yeah, you're saying he's on loan, that's up to the club. They'll need to try to do a bit of business, and he'll need to want to stay as well. So I think we're a wee bit away from that yet. Still a long way to go at the end of the season, but I think it'd be a positive if he was here next year.
You mentioned the Celtic game there. In the last 3 times they've met, Rangers have scored 9 goals against them. Are Rangers starting to bridge that gap between themselves and Celtic now, do you think?
I think you would say that in the stats that you've just said there. It was a pretty close game. Celtic getting it back to 2 each, and then a freak goal, great finish to go and take the 3 points. It just gives Rangers a little bit more belief, I would say, going into Old Firm games with the last couple of them. But I think the thing that Barry will be stressing to the players, it's league titles, it's cups. That's what Rangers are born and bred to go and win. It's part of their DNA, and that's what I think he'll be. That's what his message will be to the dressing room.
Maybe a different question. San Francisco 49ers are coming in to Rangers as a takeover. What will that bring to the club in terms of finance?
If it happens, you would like to think there'll be more finances available, and I think it's just, let's wait and see if the takeover happens. I think it's potentially going to be a really good thing for the club going forward.
Just a wee bit on Scotland lastly, what did you make of the performance the other night? Is Steve Clark still the man to take us?
100%, he's still the man. He's got us so far from when he took over the Euros. You listen to the players speak about him in the press, you speak to the players personally, they love him, and I think we're lucky to have a guy like Steve Clark. Yes, there's going to be results or performances where it's no up to scratch, but you've got to stick by your man, and I'm a firm believer that he is a man.
Is there sometimes, especially at international level, managers can be guilty of being too loyal to players?
Well, I obviously trust them, and I think the thing as a manager, if you trust the player, you are going to keep picking them, and they've got a relationship with the player. They're speaking to all different players, and probably they can rely on the players. So I think it's just a hiccup result, and we'll get back to winning ways.
And just class, the young boys that he's brought in, Lennon Miller, Max Johnson, George Hurst as well, are they the guys for the future and hoping to make a difference?
Yes, definitely. I think the future's quite bright, and you get Ben Doak in there who's injured just now as well, who's a match winner. I think the future is really good. Lennon Miller captaining his club, and then round about the squad, I think it's a fantastic thing.